Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome back to the Chicago Conservative live stream edition, guys. Today we got Nicole Coco Patrice and we got Dennis White, the 2A activist in the building. Today we're going to be talking about the big, beautiful bill. Say what's up to the panel, guys.
How's everybody doing? I hope everybody had a safe 4th of July holiday.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I love and support both of y'all. And yeah, happy 4th to everybody. Independence Day. Getting ready for 250 next year.
Yes, ma'am, man. And this is going to be a great talking point today because today we're going to be talking about how good the bill is, what the flaws are in the bill, and things like that. But me personally, I think this bill is going to be um, more beneficial for people who work in America, middle class citizens who basically pay majority of the taxes in America and stuff like that. So I think this bill is great. Now, before we start the video, because I have a 10-minute video here when it comes down to I believe this is who is this? WSBT TV, and they're basically gonna be breaking down the big beautiful bill. But we know what this bill consists of, and like we was talking about before, guys, there are like six main talking points that I love about this big beautiful bill, and the reason why I support it. Now, the first one being no tax on tips and no tax on overtime. I am a hard working American citizen, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. We got John Pratt from Boston. What's going on, man? Welcome to the live stream. But yeah, we got basically a lot of workers out there like myself in America who would benefit from this no tax on overtime a lot. Okay. So this is an absolute W for people who work in America. Hard, I should say. Because if you work in overtime, then basically you're working over the limit, you know. So when it comes down to another thing with the big beautiful bill, he's making permanent tax cuts for the middle class. Now, I don't know if this is permanent till 2028. I'm not sure if this is permanent like forever. Maybe it's to 2028. I'm not sure. I got to look into that more. But he's making tax cuts for over 62% of Americans. So that's a W off rip. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that I want to talk about with this big, beautiful bill is that this also consists of keeping men out of women's sports. Now, I know that there's been a lot of controversy, and then, Nicole, you can help out with that when it comes to how you feel about men being in women's sports and stuff like that. But, little girls, achievements and stuff, they've been taken away from them from, biological men, which I feel like to be a problem because I have daughters. So when I see stuff like that, it really boils my blood because that could have been somebody in my family that they have taken that achievement from. And me personally, I just think it's you guys know the term blackface, right? I
Yeah.
see it. I see it as woman face. That's
Oh,
what
sure.
I call it woman face. You know what I'm saying? So what I think they're doing is that they're mocking women, in my opinion. Now, if anybody want to come on my, you know, on my page and try to debate me on that when it comes to XY chromosomes, look, feel free. Um, Another thing that this bill consists of is something that I believe is very, very helpful in the black community. Now, I can't say that for all communities, but when it comes to the black community, this would really help save our babies. And that's defunding Planned Parenthood. Now, everybody know who Margaret Sanger is, correct? If anybody want to give their opinions on Margaret Sanger, feel free. But first, she was the leader of the Woman KKK. So ultimately, you're a Democrat, okay? And when it comes down to it, she targeted black communities, specifically black women, when it comes to basically deleting their child. Okay. Her goal was to eliminate the black population. in all of like in all America when it comes to the South nor wherever you were. That was her goal, and she used feminism a little bit to do that. But that's another topic for another day. Another thing this bill consists of that I really really like is they're funding the military with this. Now, Trump is asking for another, 10,000 plus, you know, ICE agents to go to the border, which I because over 90% of border crossings have stopped. Can we all agree on that?
95%.
95%. So right, so over 90% of border crossings have ceased. That's amazing. That just goes to show you Biden could have been doing this. You know what I'm saying? And this is just an absolute atrocity what he's done to the country. I don't believe that, what I'm saying, when it comes to that DEI crap and all of the no human is illegal. I don't think that stuff was good for America, but because now you've allowed other countries to dump their most horrendous people here, like Venezuela, Mexico,
El
South,
Salvador.
even, and a lot of people be forgetting China too. You
Mm-hmm.
know, these people are bringing fentanyl. We talk about this all the time, ladies and gentlemen. China is the number one producer of fentanyl. Now, Mexico is their number one buyer, but that's not going to stop the Asians from doing what they want to do. You feel me? John Pratt said, "Do you think Chicago will go red if everybody bond together and stop with the egos?" I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I feel like this is a real problem when it comes to black conservatives or quote unquote conservatives in Chicago. I feel like we're not united enough. Everybody don't have a main goal, and that's to bring the Republican conservative values to Chicago. That will ultimately save the city. I'm sorry, Mr. Dennis.
Once you finish your point.
Oh, you kind of broke up what you were saying. I'm sorry.
I say I would like to add something to it once you make your point.
No, no, you good. You good. You can go ahead and make your point, Mr. Dennis. I was talking a lot
Well,
anyway.
so here's the problem with this here. You have you have these liberals here, mainly white liberals that living in the suburbs out here, coming to Chicago. Then they have these black politicians and the black uh, uh, preachers over here manipulating the black folks. Now the Democrats had a big stranglehold in the city of Chicago for over 91 years. So they figure, so the blacks, especially mainly the black voters, figure that the Democrats will do something to fix the problem that they created. Okay, so when it started off with Daley was the longest term mayor in Chicago history. He had iron grip during the
Hold
'60s.
on, Mr. Dennis. Nicole, does he sound choppy a little bit?
Yeah, it's going in and out a little bit. Your internet, maybe.
Okay, Mr. Dennis.
Shoot. Okay. I could step out and get back in and see if that
Okay,
will work.
you sound good now. You sound good
Oh,
now. You
okay.
good. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, but I'll add Mr. Dennis back in. But yeah, what do you think about the big beautiful bill, Nicole?
Hey, I'm glad that like the only negative thing I saw about it before it passed was Marjorie Taylor Greene when she was opposing the AI restrictions that were basically stating that the states couldn't oppose like new AI, couldn't bring new legislation to oppose AI. And of course, anybody who grew up, millennials watching Terminator and iRobot and all that stuff, you kind of you kind of want to look at that hesitantly. So other than that, now that they gutted that out, thanks to her bringing that up, I feel like yeah, overall it's a good thing. It's why would we not want to bring the resources back to America? Keep all of these foreign influences out of our legislation, and taking funds away from working citizens. And it's honestly, it's like this shouldn't be a party issue. Like everybody should be behind this. Like, because why wouldn't you want no tax on tips? Why wouldn't you want no taxes on overtime? If you're a populist working class politician, then this is what working class people want. I can't hear you, Vashawn.
My bad, my bad. I was muted, but yeah, I can't word it no better than that when it comes to you saving your money. If you're not for this bill, then and that's what I wanted to say. This isn't good for you if you don't work. If you are a government dependent person, then this bill, I'm sorry to tell you, this might be your worst nightmare because all of that stuff will be ultimately be getting cut from government spending.
Yeah, for sure. But
So
at the same time, though, that also puts pressure back on the states to provide work and training programs. They gave all that money to the illegals. So if they were to save some of that money or redirect some of those funds that they're still trying to maintain for fighting ICE and all this other stuff, they could spend that money on job programs if you're so worried about able-bodied people losing benefits.
absolutely. And then my thing with that as well, it's like, yeah, there and this is another critique that I have when it comes to the big beautiful bill. But I see it as a way of you gotta spend money to make money type of thing. You feel what I'm saying? So they did say that ultimately this bill would add to the deficit, right? Now, with that being said, this is one of the reasons why Elon Musk was opposed to the big beautiful bill because he was the leader of Doge. He's a leader of, you know, basically the leader of the government, the Department of Government Efficiency. Excuse me, that's a tongue twister. Ugh. But and his job was to basically cut the deficit basically by 1 trillion every year. Now, granted, he was doing a great job when he was the leader of Doge. I'll never take that away from him, you know. But my thing about Elon Musk, and I want you guys' opinion on this as well before we start before we play this video, is that he had a problem with the bill because it didn't. And Mr. Dennis, you can help me out with this as well. Damn, did he leave again?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. He'll come back. But the bill didn't consist of electric vehicle mandates, right? So Elon Musk had a problem with that because obviously he's the owner of Tesla and things like that. But what I don't understand is this is that Elon Musk knew that Trump wasn't for EV mandates. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I don't really understand why he's upset about that. But I mean, if it was up to me, it doesn't really make sense to hold on. Let me add Mr. Dennis back. Yo, Mr. Dennis, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what I was saying was, basically Kamala Harris was for electric vehicle mandates. Joe Biden was for electrical vehicle mandates. So my thing is this: if you know Trump is against that, because you hear Trump all the time saying that he want Americans to basically choose when it comes to the car that they want to drive, right? He doesn't want people to be forced to drive electrical vehicles. He's been saying that for a minute now, if I'm not mistaken. And Mr. Dennis, you can help me out on this if you want. But if Elon Musk knew that Donald Trump wasn't for electric vehicle mandates, why is he mad that this bill doesn't consist of electrical vehicle mandates?
Because he thought was he thought that Trump was going to do the same, was going to go along with it the same way that Joe Biden did at the time. So Trump say he's against the mandate. He's not against the electric vehicle because he already know that the electric vehicle don't go no further than 10 miles. And then you got to find a charging station there. Or you're going to have to add one to your home if you drive it locally. So that messed up everything for Elon Musk when it comes down to this Tesla, which I'm pretty much glad that it did, in my opinion, because who want to drive? First of all, you got to find a way to buy these batteries. You're gonna have to ship the battery comes from China. You got to pay them $20,000 for a lithium battery, and the car is not really that safe when it comes to compare with the gas driven cars, offhand. So Elon Musk, you know, there's some things I agree what he say and stuff, but when it comes down to that electric mandate, he really want that electric mandate to go through. It's just that it didn't go through the not because it didn't go through. It's because the Republicans put a block on that raw offhand.
Yeah.
So that's why
Oh,
Elon Musk is a
sorry.
little,
You can go ahead,
well,
Mr.
pretty
Jones.
much upset. No, I was done.
Okay, Nicole, what do you think about Elon Musk and why he's upset that this bill doesn't consist of EV mandates? Why do you think he'll be upset about that? Because Trump has been running on this for a minute, saying that we're not gonna let them make you drive EV cars. You need to drive any car you want because you're an American. Okay, so why do you think Trump is getting upset about
You ready for
That's a good
SNL?
impersonation. That's a
that?
good impersonation right there.
I mean, because that's all he's been saying. I mean, look, I watched a lot of Trump rallies, so that's one of the things that he's definitely been consistent on is no EV mandates. So, what's the problem?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think it's really complicated except that Elon is kind of a brat. Like he showed you when he spazzed out on Trump online, you know what I'm saying? He had a whole tantrum. I think he just honestly just thought he was gonna buy his way into whatever he wanted. And I mean, if anything, just that whole meltdown between them and the result. And he claims that he also is upset about like the Doge cuts and then turning around and adding to the deficit. But at the end of the day, it's like that showed you that Trump honestly is going to stick to what he said he's going to do. So, I just
Right.
think, Elon really thought he was going to be swayed the way everybody else is swayed.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think he was expecting something in return for him helping Trump get into office. Because I'm not gonna lie, we gotta admit that Elon did help him get in, right?
Not
Yeah.
really. I don't think so. I believe Trump would have got in without Elon
You
help.
know what? I kind of agree with that because a lot of people was saying that Elon endorsed Trump after he got shot. So that is true.
Yeah, because my thing was, if you look at the 4 years we went through under the Biden administration, and Trump decided to run, that was a clear walk to victory for Trump offhand. That what the Democrats was hoping for was the indictment. They was wanting Trump to go to jail that badly, and because if you compare Trump to the Exorcist, and the Democrats are nothing but the devils. And he just say, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," and then you see all them devils coming out the Democrats like "Rah!" and stuff. So that's
Right,
how you have
freaking
to look
exorcist,
at it
right?
like that. Ralph Hand. Trump is like the exorcist right there. He just exorcises all these unnecessary spending, like the transgender boys or make believe boys that going against girls in sports and stuff like that. Uh,
Hmm.
he want America the way it need to be, not how the politician wanted it to be. So that's one thing about Trump. And I reading that book on the art of the deal. It's a pretty good book to read.
You told me about that book. Yeah, I gotta check that book out. But okay, guys.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Okay, guys, so we're gonna watch this video. I think it's like 10 minutes. We're gonna see it's called The New Bill, Big Backlash Inside the Big Beautiful Bill. Let's see what this video consists of. And make sure you guys like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoy the stream, please like. And we're gonna hop right to the video. Let's get into it. Okay. All righty.
What's going to happen is Doge is going to look at Musk. I don't think he should be playing that game with me.
Elon Musk and President Donald Trump are fighting again, this time over Trump's signature spending
Hold
bill.
on, guys. While we watch the video, I'm going to try to add some more people, okay?
Okay.
Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Call the Big Beautiful Bill. In a post on his platform X, Musk wrote that every member of Congress who campaigned on reducing government spending and supports the bill, quote, will lose their primary next year if it is the last thing I do on this earth. Musk, who says he is concerned about the bill's dramatic increase to U.S. debt, threatened to start a new political party called the America Party if the bill is passed. Trump, who says the bill will be an economic boost for the country, fired back with a post on his platform, Truth Social, writing that Musk may, quote, have to close up shop and head back home to South Africa if Trump turns the Department of Government Efficiency on Musk, who recently led the government's Doge initiative. Meanwhile, Democrats who were typically at odds with Musk find themselves agreeing with him on the Trump policy bill.
Hell has frozen over a second time. Elon Musk is right about this. He's got it exactly right. The idea of borrowing $3.5 trillion on the nation's credit card in order to be able to give tax breaks to the likes of Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg is financially nuts.
A dramatic weekend in Washington. Senators race against the clock to deliver President Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill.
It's a great bill. It's a popular bill.
The president hopes to have his 940-page legislation passed by July 4th. The House narrowly passed its own version last month, but after the Senate makes changes, it will have to go back to the House.
I hope that what we're going to receive is a product that is substantially similar to what we see over in the House.
Senate Republicans and Democrats are gridlocked over the details.
We're going to make sure that hardworking people can keep more of their money.
This bill is a big, beautiful betrayal of the middle class.
Here's what's in the bill that's causing the biggest battles. The multi-trillion-dollar spending package would lower federal taxes and increase spending for the military and border security. But it makes deep cuts to government-backed programs like Medicaid and food stamps. More than 71 million Americans depend on Medicaid for health care and health insurance. And roughly 42 million Americans rely on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP for food assistance. Even some Senate Republicans are worried about what those cuts would do to the people in their states.
I think that the Medicaid cuts are directionally right, but I think very difficult for the states to absorb.
Can you hear me, Nicole?
GOP senators hope to vote on the bill Monday. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
I know people are weary.
The Senate could hold a final floor vote today on President Donald Trump's sweeping budget plan. Democrats keep trying to delay it, most recently by proposing dozens of amendments. They say Americans need time to consider their perspective.
This bill steals people's health care, jacks up their electricity bill, takes away their jobs, all to pay for tax breaks for billionaires.
Republicans have a different take.
It addresses military modernization. It addresses securing our border. It addresses restoring energy dominance. It extends tax relief for the American people.
It's still uncertain if the bill will pass. Republicans can only spare 3 votes, and some are on the fence. Senator Tom Tillis says he's a no over his concerns that qualified Medicaid recipients could lose coverage under the bill. Senator Rand Paul says he's worried about adding trillions to the deficit, so he's out. Senator John Curtis opposes newly added taxes on wind and solar energy. It's also unclear how Senators Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins will vote, since they broke with their party on Medicaid amendments. If the bill does pass, it'll head back to the House, where it faces an uncertain fate.
There's a lot of us on the House side that are worried about with the Senate bill, And I think we'll have a hard time passing.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
It will be a marathon in the time frame of a sprint on Capitol Hill this week after Senate Republicans worked through the weekend and inched ahead on this mega bill that includes many of President Trump's domestic policy priorities. Still, there is work to be done. A weekend Senate vote was a vote to move ahead with the bill. The GOP saw just 2 defections, a no vote from Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky, who objects to how much the legislation will add to the federal debt, and another from Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina, who objects to the depth of the cuts to Medicaid. After President Trump lashed out on Tillis at social media, the North Carolina Republican said he won't run for re-election next year, hinting he'll also be a no on final passage. A scoring by the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office underscored the concerns of both flanks of Republicans who have expressed doubt about the bill and how challenging it may be to reconcile them. The CBO said the Senate version of the bill will add $3.3 trillion to the federal deficit over the next decade, more than the House version, and drawing the attention of fiscal conservatives. And for moderates concerned about cuts to Medicaid, the CBO estimated nearly 12 million.
So I want to pause this for a second, and I want to just I want to analyze this for a second, guys. So they're saying $3.3 trillion deficit increase over 10 years. Now, we talked about this. We said that we're going to have to spend money to make money, but they're trying to trick us a little bit because they're saying over 10 years. Now, we do know Trump isn't going to be in office that long. Now, is this bill going to hurt the deficit up to 10 years? Probably not. If anything, I think that this bill is going to decrease our deficit. I believe is what, 37 trillion, right? So if they're correct about this, then our debt would be what, 40 trillion, right? 40.3 trillion.
Give or take, yeah.
That's if they're correct about this. But me personally, I don't think this to be true. But we'll just have to see, ladies and gentlemen. But that was one of my, critiques about the bill, is that, it will add to the deficit probably. But I think it's they're funding all of the government. Well, they're funding all of the things that, the government usually fund. They're defunding that and they're putting it to the deficit, if that makes sense. So that they're funding the defunding, if that makes sense.
Right. No, it does. It's like you gotta, like you said, it takes money to make money, and it's gonna take shifting priorities to allow people to become self-sufficient, to, because like we don't have jobs here like we should have jobs here. I mean, people gonna say, oh well, Americans don't want to do certain jobs, but like, you got rid of, steel mills and car factories and all of these different jobs that people back in the 50s and 60s could take and work those jobs, and they could feed a whole family off of, buy a house, etc. You don't have those kind of jobs here anymore, and people don't get those skills in high school anymore like they used to. You used to have these vocational programs and stuff like that. With this pressure on people to start coming up with solutions instead of letting people just sit around and be lazy, like honestly, that's the problem. Like, you
right,
keep
able-bodied citizens.
Yeah, like you say, people don't want to work these jobs. Well, then why not? To let the immigrants do the jobs Americans don't want to do. Well, why not?
Right.
So fix that, and that's what he's forcing us to do.
Mr. Dennis, this comment is interesting to me. It's from the Third Eye Boogie VM. The cuts to Medicaid is just for fraud and illegals. Is this true? Can you answer that?
It is true, because if you look at it, when under the Biden administration, they passed Medicaid towards all these illegals. Their health care is really better than the one through the private insurance. So the illegals,
absolutely,
their health care is right.
I don't even think they got a copay.
No, not through Medicaid. They don't do copay.
Wow. Right.
They don't do copay through Medicaid.
Crazy.
Yes, it is. And you know why? See, here's the thing. People got to start learning how to read the bill. Don't just listen to points or what people's like Abby Phillips saying things on CNN or them nut jobs over there at MSNBC,
MS,
or
right,
or
MSNBC, DNC, basically.
yeah, the communist channels, and you gotta stop listening to some of these politicians, not only from the federal level with the Democrats and some of these few rhinos, but you gotta stop listening to these Democrats on the state and local level too, because they have a big impact on the way how people should think, especially with this bill that's passed into law. People don't read the bill, and that's where the problem exists. Nobody don't read the bill.
Absolutely, man. People got to start reading, especially in the black community, because
Yeah,
they'll see black Facebook and they'll say, "Oh, Trump's doing this, Trump doing that." It was a thing. It was the thing that was going viral, right? Saying that, "Oh, Trump's getting rid of Black history and all this other BS," which is not true at all. I don't think that to be true.
I think those
So,
are people who starting the propagandists. Those are propagandists right there. I won't
right.
believe if they tell the truth.
Right. So let's continue the video, guys. I'm still trying to add this one person. I think he's trying to get in, but I think he having some difficulties. But let's continue.
Million more Americans will be uninsured by 2034, again, more than the House version. On Monday morning, the Senate kicked off what's known as a vote-a-rama, a marathon voting session where senators can offer as many amendments as they want to vote on before a final vote on the bill. And after a final vote, the Senate-approved version still needs to go back to the House for a final vote. Remember that July 4th deadline was imposed by the president, so there's no real pressing need for it to be met other than the president's insistence. At the White House, I'm Karen Kafa.
Okay.
It's a great bill. It's a popular bill.
President Donald Trump is set to spend a rare weekend in Washington while pushing Senate Republicans to pass his so-called big, beautiful bill.
I have been doggedly determined to get this done by July 4th, as has the president.
Yet,
Not gonna lie. Yeah, Mike Johnson, this is a W for him, but I I really get mixed feelings about Mike Johnson, man. Some days I think he on top of the world, and some days I just think he's just a spineless freaking. The dude just need to grow a pair of what, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
But some days he do be acting like a damn punk. What you think, Mr. Dennis?
Well, Mike Johnson is wishy-washy sometimes. Sometimes he do great things, and sometimes he don't do great things. But I want to ask something about this situation with Trump and Elon. I think this should have been more internal. Them two should have talked it out instead of going on social media about this, because this is something what the Democrats are waiting for. So now
I'm telling you, yeah, there you go.
Like Pocahontas, when she said that now she was against Elon Musk because he was signed with Trump. So now they having a little spat or fallout. Now she for Elon Musk. This is something that need to be. You gotta be very careful. If we disagree on some things, that should be between two individuals over the phone or in person, not social media. This is something that the Democrats are waiting for. Now, are they going to get this? Are they going to get the House, the Senate back? No, they're not going to get it. After
A lot of people are disagreeing with that nowadays, man. Even some Republicans I've heard on some, a couple YouTube channels and stuff like that, they're saying that the Democrats might actually win the House.
No, they're not going to get the House back.
I agree, but I agree, but
I'm going to tell you why. During the 4 years when they had the House, the Senate, and the White House,
they didn't do nothing.
They didn't do little to nothing but create chaos economically, educational wise, and basically spiritual wise. Not one Democrat didn't do nothing for the American people. So so they flipped. Now, should the Republican should flip more seats out there as far as when the primary comes? Absolutely. The only thing that the American people need to do is wait and see how this gonna work out with the big beautiful bill. If it works, then leave it like it is. But we gotta get rid of some of these Democrats like Eyelash Jasmine Crockett. We need to get people like Nancy Pelosi, or else she's gonna drink herself to a alcoholic coma. Hakeem discount the discount of the Dollar General Store. Obama, Hakeem Jeffrey, he need to go. You know,
Right.
these Democrats, the Republicans need to flip a leaf about 10 to 15 seats during
Right.
when the
So,
midterm comes.
so Mr. Dennis, it's a comment down there for you. Or wait, not this one. Hold on. Okay, this one right here. It says, if everything stays the same, they're not taking the House and definitely not taking the Senate. This is from Augustus Tiberius. What do you say to that comment?
Who are they? The Democrats or the Republicans?
If everything stays the same, they're not taking the House and definitely not taking the Senate.
The
I don't
Democrats.
know if he's. I don't know. I don't know. You gotta specify a little bit, bro. But let's continue, guys.
So
yet the sweeping domestic bill is on shaky ground. On Thursday,
what you were saying, Mr. Dennis? My bad.
I'm saying now, if you look at it, they've been if you look at it during the Biden administration, they was passing bills like 5 to almost 1,500 pages that nobody don't have time to read the bill. And then
Right.
if you look at that, the Republican, it was like almost thin right there, because these things are common sense and stuff. You know, the Democrats want to, if the Democrats, let's say the worst case scenario, the Democrats take the House. That means that they control the purse. They could block everything that Trump is trying to do. Stop funding, not to fund the border, not funding ICE. They could do, put money back into Planned Parenthood, help the LGBTQ alphabet community. There's a lot of things that these Democrats are capable of doing, because they did it before during the Biden administration. So we need to learn the mistakes that the American people cannot afford no more. These Democrats are not for the people; they are for themselves, and they for people like China and the cartels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure, man. The cartels is definitely a big no when it comes to America, man. And that's why I don't get these Mexican people waving these flags. If you burn the Mexican flag in Mexico as an American citizen, I don't think you're gonna make it out.
Well, they didn't even have to do. They didn't even have to do that much. You seen recently, there's footage of them spray painting like "Get out of here, Americans! We don't want you here. Go back to America!" Like, so there's a whole like anti-America movement happening down there right now.
Well,
Wow, I did not know that.
But you gotta look at now. That's the same thing how we feel about them and stuff. Except for, and I don't blame them for get them. Okay, then bring the American citizen back to America, but you gotta take your people back, no matter what. You gotta take them back, because they ain't doing nothing but hurting everything. They trying to turn the city of Chicago into a Mexico 2.0, because they tried to make it mandatory that we need to speak their language, but they can't come and speak our language.
Right.
Right. But I always say it's a difference between illegal and legal immigration. I could be wrong, but I don't think the majority of Americans going down there are trying to force their way in there illegally and disrespect the country to the point that, like you said, they're trying to force everybody to do things their way. It's, them trying to go down there and live their lives, vacation, whatever they're doing. And not only that, when we go to other countries as tourists, especially, they're learning English because we coming with money. We're not coming down there looking for handouts.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I know everybody here who's Latino, not only in the city of Chicago but throughout this country, they are on government handouts, and that's why they fighting ICE out there to make sure that these illegals stay, because they
also got their hands out towards the government and stuff. So no, I want ICE to ship them out one way or another. Send them through a UPS box, send them through a body bag, send them through a bus. Just get them out. Get them out.
Right.
One
And
or the
working jobs though. That's the part. People don't like some of them, they own the public aid and they still working a job. They income not counting because they not giving up no social. So it's a lot.
Well, Nicole, they don't have a social because if you get Social Security, you got forced to pay taxes. So they're taking these low labor jobs like picking strawberries, working in construction,
Right,
or
pool boy.
that money, that cash money they put under the table. That's how they avoid the IRS. So
Right.
they don't that's why they don't want not even the green card, because you got to give them the number through the green card or visa, one of those two. But if they have a Social Security, they will be forced to put it on that W-2, and then that's going to take out money for the taxes, both the employee and the employers. So they don't want that to happen. These illegals and those who fighting ICE, they want that government. They trying their best to avoid paying the taxes here in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, man. And you already know that if you don't pay taxes, that ultimately means that you keep more money for yourself. And that money they use to buy the apartment buildings. They start their own businesses and stuff like that. Like they own what you call it? Where you like a junkyard, like a scrap yard and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They get all type of stuff they do with their money, man.
Now listen.
Hold on. I think we got Mitch in. Let's get Mitch in and let him say what's up to the people real quick and how you feel about it. Then we're gonna go back to Mr. Dennis, and then we're gonna start the video back up. What's up, Mitch?
Hey,
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on? Okay, yep. So we just talking about
my bad. Got the YouTube open. There we go. That should be better. Hey, can you hear me, guys? Okay?
Yeah. I can hear you fine.
Oh, my bad. I just had I had the YouTube open, and I just kept hitting the echo with it. How y'all been?
We doing good, man. We talking about the big beautiful bill.
Yeah, I didn't really, I really didn't pay too much attention to it this week. I started another job and I've been trade, but besides that, I see people online tripping, but I really don't get it. You got the people talking about he's gonna make EBT cuts and all this other stuff or whatever, and this stuff that really doesn't affect me. And I don't want to sound like callous about it, but it's kind of like, this is what we kind of voted for, but I don't know if you could tell me, is anything like extra in that is really like not good or what? I don't know.
The only flaw that I see in the big beautiful bill is going to add to the deficit. They're saying that it's going to add $3.3 trillion to the deficit. I believe 10 years prior to now. I don't know.
How we moving it almost like $1 trillion or $1 trillion a year now. So what's $3 trillion in 10 years? It's like, it's not the worst I heard.
Right.
And that's going to make things better. You got to spend money to make money. It's a business. America's a business. If you got to spend $3 trillion in 10 years, hopefully that'll get the economy back. I don't know if it add to the deficit though. It should balance out if you're using it to create the things he said he wanted to do. And we get businesses over in this country start making things here, that should offset the deficit. In theory, I don't know. I'm not an economist. I play with stock market, but I'm not an economist like that.
Right, but you bring up a good point, and one of those points you made is exactly why Elon Musk was opposed to the big beautiful bill as well, because it adds to the deficit, and he was the leader of Doge. Now that ultimately was supposed to cut government spending. I believe it was supposed to cut 1.2 trillion a year,
It sounds like it evens out. I mean, what is he tripping about? I'm like, you got to cut something here, but you got to spend something there. That's the way business. I've been in business my whole
That's
life.
what I said. Yep. I said you got to spend money to make money.
I spend money on tools to fix these cars and get away from auction, but then I gotta pay money on transport, which I don't want to do, but it saves me time. But I gotta spend. It's just the way business and life works. Like that's the way business and life works. So I really don't. I mean, I really don't get it. And the whole Elon thing, I don't know what's been wrong with him. And I don't know. It seemed like like I said, it seemed like we're in a movie. One day he cool. He wasn't cool in 2020, but now he cool in 2024. Now he's not cool again in 2025. And I'm just like, dude, it literally just be like, you know what, F all this, you know.
You got Elizabeth Warren agreeing with Elon, man. What the hell is actually going on with this?
The fake native, yeah.
What the hell? So you know that's a problem. But yeah,
wasn't she cussing him out? What, 2-3 months ago?
Yeah, she actually was.
Yeah, I remember that. She was out there cussing and talking about all these Elon trying to steal your information. Well, what was she? I forgot what she said. You got to look up that interview. But did she say?
All they kept saying, all I heard was President Musk.
She was
President Musk. That's all I heard.
I don't know. It seems like these people, like I said, literally feel like we're in a movie, and it literally feel like we're in a movie, and this is getting real. It's getting real annoying. Elon is becoming real annoying. He's really getting annoying. He can't keep a side. He really can't keep a side. Like you could have stayed on. I overheard you while I was cooking. I overheard you was talking about like we couldn't win without. I think we probably could have made it without him. I think so.
No. I actually rebutted that statement because when I thought about it, Elon endorsed Trump after he got shot. So I'll take that back.
Yeah, but we knew he was kind of on his side anyway because the way he was talking on Joe Rogan. He was on Rogan way before Trump got shot. And so he's like, okay, yeah, he might come over to the side. And but at the end of the day, it wasn't no way he wasn't gonna win, but yeah.
Right.
But so we didn't need him, but the point is he doing all this weird stuff. I don't know if he thought like Trump was gonna make us, since he's Trump, he was gonna buy Teslas. No, we still ain't gonna buy Teslas. You know.
Right.
So that's
another thing.
Yeah, he got mad at that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, why is he getting mad about Trump not having EV mandates in his big beautiful bill? But that's what he's been running on this entire election.
He knew. I could understand him giving on a play, but I'm about to say Trump. Elon got all that bread when Joe Biden was president with the EV mandate. Say that fast. But he got all that bread in 20. God, these years go by so fast. But what year was that? It had to be 2021. Going into 2022, when Joe Biden signed that at around like November, December 2021, I think he got like hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. No, I think it was like hundreds of millions of dollars from the government to further his plant and all that stuff. So I'm like, I don't like he could have stayed on the other side as far as I'm concerned because he's really getting on my nerves.
Mr. Dennis, can you answer this last question for us before we start back? Genghis Khan said, "Do people still think the feud was staged?"
The feud? What feud? Oh yeah, I don't know.
With Elon and Trump.
Yeah, nobody cares.
If it was staged, in my opinion, I don't believe that should be out in public. If it was staged, now. If it's on purpose, no matter if it was staged or not, whatever it is, it should. Well, let me backtrack on one thing. If it was staged, and Trump and Elon undercoverly are getting along with each other, and so that probably could be the biggest setup against the Democrats.
Yeah,
Ralph Hand.
Yeah, that's true.
That could be a setup, Ralph Hand. So that it could be wrong hand, depending on how what Elon and Trump is saying, because Elon been apologizing to Trump on social media too at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good point, Mr. Dennis.
Yeah. Now, the main person who's really not a fan of Trump, of Elon, is Steve Bannon.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why Steve Bannon don't like Elon Musk and stuff, but he's not a big fan of Elon. That's one thing for sure. I like Elon because he's a genius. But anything else, I would not, like I say, don't post nothing on social media like that, because you're really giving the bullets to the Democrats already, and they're going to use it on you during the midterm and probably the next presidential election.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. All right, guys, let's continue this video. See what more of this consists of. Their criticisms.
Thursday, the Senate's rules referee struck down key provisions saying they don't meet the chamber's strict budget rules so that the bill can be approved by a simple majority vote. Now, Republican leaders are scrambling to rework it.
I'm not as set on getting this done on July 4th as some of the others. If they try to jam it through and the House does, and they go too far in changing what the House did, it runs the risk of it failing here. That's the reality.
Medicaid is one sticking point, with some Republicans concerned about potential cuts to social safety net programs. Democratic leaders like California's Governor Gavin Newsom opposed the bill, saying if passed, it could eliminate health care coverage for millions of Golden State residents.
Millions of your illegal immigrants in California.
That's all it is.
Lizard.
That's all it is.
And
against the illegal.
Damn lizard creature.
That's all it is. That will cut his pet right here in California.
Damn, this dude is such a lizard, spineless freaking alien, bro.
No,
Gavin Newsom.
I don't know how he survived these recalls. I don't know how Gavin Newsom. It's like you complain about something, but you're comfortable while you complain. And I don't feel sorry for the people in California because
Me
they
neither.
keep on voting.
We let all them damn people in there, waving all their Mexican flags with all their ideologies and virtue signaling. Like, dude, California deserves to burn to the ground, in my opinion, because look at what you damn clown.
I love California, but I don't love the politics. It's such a beautiful place. It's so stupid.
Right. But it's all right, guys. It's all right. You want to know why it's all right? Because he has a podcast. He has a podcast. So it'll be all right.
So he have a podcast, but not enough, no way to fight a forest fire.
Exactly. Not even enough water, though. Like, how don't you have water for this stuff?
Because the water he have, it go. What he did, he stopped the water flow in the state. So the reservoir goes straight into the ocean, Ralph had. That's why they didn't have no water last year during the firefight, that forest fire.
Right.
And guess what? In the next 2 months, it's going to be another dry season out there in California. It's coming. Get ready. Get ready. It's going to be another fire.
We got some diversity in the chat, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, DEI.
We got some diversity. Let's go. What up, Squid Man?
What's up?
Hey, Squid.
Yo, what's going on?
How's your guys'
How you feeling, man?
Tired as fuck right now.
Yes, sir, man. That's another working patriot right there, ladies and gentlemen. W Squid in the chat. Yes, sir.
You heard that diversity? Now, here's a diversity that you could get a job. It's that plain and staying eating whatever y'all be eating, gain calories, low testosterone, and then you can go ahead and do this thing called a job.
Yeah.
For real, man. Hey, Squid, how you feel about the big, beautiful bill, man?
Well, I'm clearly looking forward to it.
Yeah, you and me both. I'm looking forward to keeping the rest of my damn money when I make my damn overtime. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I want to make overtime, but my job doesn't really allow it.
Right. Now, Squid, I know you are one of the biggest trolls when it comes to this, so I got to get your opinion on this before we start the video back. You already know Mr. Dennis already. So, Squid, this bill consists of keeping men out of women's sports. How do you feel about that, Squid?
Yeah, I feel like it's a fucking good thing.
Man,
It should be a no-brainer.
for sure. I don't know why is it so controversial? I have no idea, but I don't think men should challenge women. I think men should challenge men. Biological men should challenge biological men, and women should challenge women. Biological women should challenge biological women. What the hell does a cis woman even means? What the hell is going on here?
Yeah, that's too good.
What is a cis woman?
Man,
Basically, going with the gender you identified with.
Why don't they just call them for who they are?
They trying to change the.
I want to know for trans women, do they have vaginal itch? Do they go through a yeast infection?
Yeah, do they have regular women problems?
I mean, this really confused the hell out of me. I've been in this world a little bit too long, and they over here talking about I am a woman. I'm like, okay, so how do you give birth? Through your penis or your ball sack?
What the hell?
I just want to know. I mean, I'm just confused.
That's literally not possible, bro. What the hell?
I mean,
we got shout out Valley Joe for wearing the merch in California. Well, no, San Francisco. Okay, well, that's in California, so
yeah. I'm just.
I know Valley Joe can't freaking stand Gavin Newsom. Then let's get him off the screen before Valley Joe have a heart attack. Jesus Christ.
I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime. This is devastating.
The Republican Party is still rewriting key parts of the bill and have yet to release the final text. Their hope to get the final vote this weekend and, if successful, have it on the president's desk by July 4th.
But I feel like the Senate's making our bill better from what I'm hearing.
And if you guys want me to pause it, let me know, okay? I'll pause it for you guys.
I think they've made it better in SNAP. I think they've made it better in the federal retirements. I think they've made it better with the energy.
I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
My bad, we got to add.
Yeah.
Okay.
That Saturday night vote marked a make or break moment on both ends of Pennsylvania Avenue, and President Trump was keenly aware of the razor-thin margins in the Senate and all of the hurdles.
So I don't like about what this video, they keep critiquing what the Republicans and the Democrats are saying about the bill, but they not really specifying what the bill consists of. Can you guys agree on that? I mean, the ones who've been watching the video.
Well, you know, these mainstream fake news. That's all they are, fake news.
Right. Long story short, this shit sucks. I should have picked a different video. Jeez.
I mean, yes, obviously not going to.
Because he had
He's not going to talk about what's inside the bill.
Right. I've seen a few things, but nothing really.
And holding meetings and even
honestly, we talked about the bill more than these damn people.
playing golf with a key group of Republican senators over the better part of the last 24 hours. Ultimately, if passed, this legislation, this sweeping tax and spending package would really unlock President Trump's domestic agenda. And the White House is keenly aware that this is a critical moment to get this over the finish line while Republicans control both the House and the Senate. And for those reasons, President Trump, along with Vice President J.D. Vance, had been working those phones, holding meetings, inviting senators to the White House to get this to a yes. The president scrapped a planned weekend in New Jersey to spend a rare weekend here in Washington, where he held a round of golf with Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, along with Senator Eric Schmidt of Missouri.
Like nobody
Are you
cares.
joking?
Like nobody
Who
cares.
gives a shit?
Like,
Who cares?
so tell us some news, lady. Like, what's going on?
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is so stupid. Okay, Trump played golf with Graham. Okay, this is news. What the hell?
But see, this is what they'll say after this, and when Monday comes and people finally decide to go to work, they're gonna say that Donald Trump, I spent my tax dollar, and all he did was playing golf with Lindsey Graham. You see what they say? Just like he was at the Super Bowl game, and our tax dollars spent on him going to the Super Bowl game, but our tax dollars go to Biden when he was in a comatose and go to every ice cream parlor that he could see.
Really though, that's all Biden ever did was talk
Yeah,
about
that's
ice
all they do.
cream.
Ice cream parlor. That shit funny.
Man, they got to get better news reporters, man. They got to do more of their job. This is crazy.
Missouri, and Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky, notably a key holdout who had concerns about spending in this package, as well as the provision that raises the debt limit. Paul ultimately voted no on that bill, but Vance himself had headed to the Senate, where he was poised to take a tie-breaking vote. Ultimately, that was not needed. The reality here is that there are deep policy divisions within the Republican Party on the scale and scope of this bill, as well as persistent concerns about cuts to Medicare programs. But the president ultimately lashing out at Senate.
So Squid, just to update you on that, when it comes to Trump cutting Medicaid, right? And I did an analysis on this, and Nicole Coco, we talked about this earlier, right? They said that over 12 million Americans will have their Medicaid cut. Now, first of all, anybody with a brain, with a working fucking brain, okay, guys, would know the population of America is 360 million, you know? Probably like well over 300 million Americans, correct? So
It's pretty big up there.
right. So if we know how many illegal migrants that was let in by Joe Biden, which is roughly what we say, Nicole, 20, right? 20 million?
At least 20 million.
At least 20 million. And if you subtract the cities that are not sanctuary cities, that will ultimately damn near lead to roughly around 12 million. Am I tripping?
Yeah. They know that there's no real cuts to anything. It's literally enacting. And I wanted to say this too. The A-bar requirement has been around since 1996. So able-bodied adults without dependents should have been working this whole time to get benefits since 1996. Bill Clinton signed that in.
Absolutely. If a man that doesn't work doesn't eat. That's
Right.
ultimately just what it means. Like, and nowadays, a woman who doesn't work doesn't eat. If you don't have a husband or somebody to provide for, if you're not a trust fund baby, not saying women shouldn't work, but that's how they made it, which is kind of stupid. I think women kind of like dig their own hole. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of stupid if you ask me. Like, why the hell would women want to go work in dirt? Because I work with women, right? And all they freaking do is complain. The women don't even like the women there. If I'm being honest with you guys, the women don't even want to work with the women. Women annoy women.
And women don't like trans. Well, they do like trans women because they stick together anyway. Some of them do.
Well, that's more so in the white liberal, black Shaniqua and feminine Tommy, era. Like, I feel like those are kind of the only people that support like LGBT. If I'm being honest,
Women got scammed with feminism out of what they feel like the patriarchy was oppressing them, and it's like if you were strategic enough, you would have realized the patriarchy was saving you from a lot of shit.
Yeah, man. Like war. Like my thing is this: a lot of people think the 19th should be appealed because now men are starting to wake up. Like, wait a minute. Majority of the people who get voted in, you got to have the women on your side, which is pertaining why Democrats always win their elections, right? It's
Yeah,
because liberal women, right? So,
yeah, it's really called feminazi.
right, feminazi. So when you think about that, right, and then men are like, well, wait a minute. If women elect this fucking wannabe communist Kim Jong Un person, which happens to be Kamala Harris, you know what I'm saying? So she could potentially put us into World War III. Who has to fight in this war? Because last time I checked, women aren't in the selective service, right?
Right.
So men have to fight that war. If all fails, if we need men in the military to go fight, which we are, because let's be honest, even the people in our military are freaking soft. Besides the Marines and stuff like that, and
Let
a
me tell
little
you
bit of
something.
Army people, man,
Let me
let's
tell
be
you
honest,
something.
bro.
They didn't make when I was in the military. It was
Well,
bad
no, because
life.
you was like Vietnam and stuff like that. You was like Nam and stuff. So ain't nobody messing with you, Mr. Dennis. And I think you like a baby bloomer, right?
No, I wasn't in Nam. I was in the first Persian Gulf War, but it
No,
wasn't that
I'm
bad.
saying around that time though. You was around that time when Nam was going around.
Yeah,
Right.
it was. Yeah, I was.
So yeah, that's some real that's some real stuff right there. But I think on the ground warfare is over. I think it's a lot of intelligent warfare now when it comes to like drone strikes, taking out headquarters as far as like the intelligence agencies and stuff like that, which is why a lot of people have a problem with Mossad, okay, and the IDF, but I'm not gonna get into that, okay, because they're gonna start calling me Hitler.
Well,
So let's just continue the
but
video.
before you go on there, you gotta understand about these feminist groups. They are no more than self-made lesbian trying to tell other women that they. Oh, did I say something funny?
Because self-made is hilarious. Because
How
who
you a
else will make it?
self-made lesbian? That's crazy. That sounds like a rap name.
You
That's
pulled
how
your
Rap
dildo.
name, yo.
You pulled your dildo up by its own bootstraps.
pretty much. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes.
Lord.
Well, here's the thing. That's just like the BLM with them. You got them three fat, nasty looking lesbians. So what they doing is after the now is it so coincidental that after the civil rights movement, here comes the feminist movement and stuff. And then they manipulate not only white women, they manipulate black women as well when they say you don't need a man in the household. Well, newsflash, you need men more in the household more than the men need a woman in the household because you're gonna have to have somebody take the trash out. You're gonna have to have somebody to either go in front of the garage and change the tire or change the oil. I mean, I know there's some women who go to school for
They
those
rather
things.
spend money. That's
Yeah.
why women contribute over 80% of the debt in America. Oh, I'll just call someone. They'll handle it. I'll just use my credit card. I'll just use my credit card.
I ain't gonna lie, women is
Really
92% of my business.
Right, put it on my tab.
What kind of business is it, Mitchell?
No, I'm a automotive remarketer, but I sell cars. I sell cars and I fix cars, but I'm a remarketer. I work for like the finance company.
How many
Yeah.
people? Who the majority of people you see in there?
All black women. 90% of my customers are black
So,
women.
but let me finish my point. I'm gonna finish my point real quick. But it's ironic that and then what they did in the late '60s and early '70s. What's the first thing they did? They burned their bras. So now them breasts they used to been perky and firm and stuff. Now they slapping like sails or wherever it is. It's like gorilla tits and stuff. So they over here trying to say you're equal as a man. I guarantee you most of these women, I guarantee you most of these women are not going to take an ass whooping.
No, they won't. Which I agree with 100%. If I was like, come on, dude. First of all, I don't condone hitting women. Period. That's just a coward move,
Yeah.
Because everybody know that men are stronger than women, which is why I agree with this keeping men out of women's sports. Because it's just wrong.
Physically men are stronger than women.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the question. What happened to people like Gloria Albright? She's a feminist. What happened to Me Too? They're feminists. Why these women are not protecting women against these men who pretend to be a woman, but if you raise their dress, then you got these itty bitty kosher pickles between their legs. And then, like, where are these women's feminist group at? Why are they not protecting them? That's what I want to know.
All right, man, we got to move on, but we can all agree. We can all agree that that stuff is just weird and wrong, for sure.
It is pretty weird when you have a kosher pickle between your legs and then you think that you're a woman.
All right, let's continue.
Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina, the other no vote. He said in a post to social media just before the vote passed that he would threaten to primary Tillis, who is up for re-election in 2026. He said numerous people have come forward wanting to run in the primary against Senator Tom Tillis. I will be meeting with them over the coming weeks, looking for someone who can properly represent the great people of North Carolina. The president had also held a major event pushing for the bill on Thursday, where he went after those who would vote no as grandstanders and not good people. The president had been pushing to get this done by the 4th of July. He expressed a little bit of softening of that deadline earlier this week, saying it was important but not the end all. So we'll be closely watching how this proceeds in the days ahead as they work through some of the key provisions in this bill, in this so-called vote-a-rama. This is still far from over. Once and if the Senate passes this bill, it still needs to go to the House of Representatives, where they need to approve those changes before it can go to the President Trump's desk. So the president clearly has a lot more lobbying to do, and it remains to be seen if he can close this deal. Betsy Klein, CNN, Washington.
CNN. Okay.
Oh, that's what it was. That's part of the problem.
China News Network.
News Network.
King Trump 2028.
Problem right there, man. That's the problem right there. That's the reason why this video freaking sucked.
Yeah.
Because it was CNN the whole time. Jeez, man.
It's
and
feelings.
I knew something didn't smell right.
It's feelings over facts every time.
Yeah.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it.
Yeah, guys.
King Trump 2020. King Trump 2028.
That's right.
Yeah, let's go, man. What they talking about? Oh yeah, guys, that's the end of the video. I can't believe we watched through that whole thing. You see how they got us in the end? So that's what y'all doing now, CNN? Y'all announcing yourself in the end because y'all suck that much? Why y'all ain't say y'all was CNN in the beginning? I would have been turned that shit off. But and then you see how they lied and say, "Oh, we're gonna closely watch this." Y'all ain't even say anything that the bill consisted of besides how it's gonna add to the deficit, how it's gonna cut Medicaid. And that's basically it.
So obviously, they didn't read the bill, or
at
if
all.
They did read the bill, which I doubt very seriously they comprehended. They probably spin what was in that bill and tell the viewers what they want them to hear.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
right?
It's just like J.B. Pritzker and what's that fool name? Oh. Brandon Johnson. You got a governor. Now here's the thing. You got people like J.B. Pritzker who would tell the voters in Illinois he finally lost weight. And then you go and tell Brandon Johnson would smart he was because he passed all them dumbass kids in social study while then because he said it was racist. That do you see what it's going
Not
to?
the dumbass kids. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah, they made them kids dumb. Brandon Johnson should never be a teacher. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He should not even teach special ed. He should never teach special ed. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Brandon Johnson is a super moron, and you can't get no moronic than that. Brandon Johnson over here saying everything he say it has something to do with. He can't even pee right. It's MAGA fault. Things don't go his way. It's MAGA fault. Crime, MAGA fault. Shooting incident, MAGA fault. Everything he do, he blame MAGA. He blames the black conservatives and stuff like that. And then he over here breaking his neck, want everybody to celebrate Juneteenth, which that means open season for victims, Ralph, fan, because he's
Yeah.
not going to do nothing. He's not going to let the police do their job because his twin brother, Lori Lightfoot, starting all this stuff off. So he just finished this. Ralph, fan. It's
Mr. Dennis, that's getting clipped. That's getting clipped.
This guy mentioned that how much of a soy boy Johnson is.
He's such a soy boy, man. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I mean, ever since that orange, I think he going through sleepless night because the DOJ is starting to investigate him, and he going through this shell shocker of that orange jumpsuit, Ralph. I truly believe he is, and
He
I pray
traumatized.
to God that he wear that.
Yeah.
I think he's more afraid of Stacey Davis Gates than anything else, though. And if I don't know if y'all saw, they had a Socialism 2025 conference in Chicago, and like they got clips. Yes, you need to. I'm gonna send you the links, but like they live streamed the
I gotta
whole
react.
thing.
They did?
Yes, and the stuff that
Send
these
me
people,
that. I'll react to it.
yes, the stuff that these people were saying. Get your kids out of public school now.
What? They're teaching socialism in
Oh,
school now?
Straight up socialism playbook.
Oh no.
Yeah, and look
Oh,
what.
no.
And if you notice now, if everybody noticed, they signed a bill that you cannot even homeschool your kids in this state.
They're trying to, yeah. It's like they're trying to put extra layers of
Forcing
rules
your
on.
kids to go to a public, private, or charter school?
You know, they if like let's say now 60% of the public schools they not doing good with the reading and math score here in the city of Chicago. So some of the parents want to take their kids out and put them into a better school. Brandon Johnson opposed it, CTU opposed it, and that's festival. Oh, and HR Puff and stuff, JB Prisker opposed it. So they don't want you to homeschool your kids. They don't want you. They oppose school choice.
That is ridiculous, man. That is so
Yeah,
weird.
especially in the now. Right. It's start now. Look what happened. What 8, 9, almost before Lightfoot, when Lightfoot was in office, Rahm Emanuel closed 51 public schools in the city of Chicago. Ralph, he just up and closed it. Okay. Most of those schools are for the migrant shelter. But he closed the school and then he want to run back mayor and stuff. He want to become mayor again. But
please,
Brandon Johnson, he's a member of CTU. He's not he admitted it before he became mayor. This was during his campaign speech. They did an interview and he said, I just passed these kids to the next grade because the curriculum was racist. Now you're a social study teacher and stuff, and you can tell you over here passing these kids. So now you passing these kids into breaking law, committing crime, or be dead. One of those three options, Ralph, that Brandon Johnson is doing, Ralph.
And a lot of that was
Like
COVID
I
era
said,
policy too, though. That was like the Board of Education trying to cover up for the fact that, them executive orders under Pritzker and the remote learning, they weren't prepared to teach the children remotely. And so, the children suffered and they said, oh, hell no, we're not going to look like we trash. We're going to just pass these kids anyway. So a lot of that is the residue of the COVID era policies. And that's why a lot of people are homeschooling too, was because the masking and the vaccinations and all of that. So it's so many layers to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, we're gonna actually give our last opinions about the big beautiful bill. We heard all we could. I mean, we know what the bill consists of, and I'm kind of glad we got a perspective from a leftist, platform or something like that. So I guess we know where their head is. And clearly their head is to basically make Trump look bad. So they don't even care about the policies. They don't care about their own policies. They don't care about Republican policies. They don't care about policies at all, in my opinion. So I mean, Democrats basically don't know shit. All they see is, oh, Trump's bad. He's cutting Medicaid. They don't want to say he's cutting Orange Man bad. They don't want to say that he's cutting Medicaid for illegal migrants. They don't want to basically point out the fact that working class citizens will not be getting taxed on their overtime and tips. That's a really, really big deal. That will help. That will help Americans save probably like $5,000 a year. I'll take that. The hell.
That's
And
great.
Yeah.
even when it comes to American-made manufactured cars, right? If you buy an American-made car, you won't get taxed for that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you get a tax credit. You get a credit off of that.
Right, you get credit. So I think the bill is very, very good. It has a couple flaws, obviously, but
Nothing's perfect.
Right, but I always say you got to spend money to make money. Every businessman knows this. I believe Mitch said this earlier. So, my opinion, I think this bill will help America. It's helping the working class citizen. It supports capitalism. It can't get no. I mean, and it supports the military as well. Because me personally, when you're looking at cities like New York and they're about to elect a whole communist, a whole socialist communist like Zoran Mondani,
Proudly.
man, look, we need to start getting our military ready because it's looking like we're going to need more troops. We're going to need more soldiers because if you guys think Chicago with Brandon Johnson is bad, man, Zoran Mondani is going to turn New York into a hellhole, even though majority of those policies he can't pass, like free buses and city ran grocery stores, like that's going to lower the cost of groceries. Like that's just dumb. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this bill will help out with that as well. So last thoughts with anybody. We're going to start with Squid because I know he came in fairly
I don't
late.
even
So
know how he made it through the primary. That's a head scratcher right there.
Sick.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, but personally for me, the bill has a lot what I voted for, and I really do think it will make the country a lot better.
Okay, Mitch, you want to go next? What you feel about the bill?
I don't know. I feel like it eventually will do something good, but we're just trying to solve problems that Joe Biden caused, and this is really just pissing me off because like this wasn't a problem 6, 7, 8 years ago, and now we have to create a solution for a problem that didn't exist. And it just seems like there's people in here that are just making problems to prevent this country from being exactly what it should be or what it could be. I'm like, we feel like we're in a second or almost third world country right now. You got people crawling over borders, and now we got to take away Medicare for them people. Then you got the fake news telling them, oh, he's gonna kick black people out, or he's stopping black people from getting Medicare. No, he didn't. That's not what it's for. That's not what it's for. Then people was like, oh, well, this is what he says he's gonna do. This is Project 2025. I'm like, no, this is not. So I don't know. And I just hate because I'm in business. I don't like to create problems. So the point of fact is like when you you try to do in business, you try to do anything to make your day easier for you to make more money or to make business flow better. So, I mean, Biden literally set this country back. Biden literally set black people back, but he's literally set this country back by 20-some years easily. We got to worry about.
Biden needs the help of his Democrats too.
The Democrats, yeah, the Schumers, the controlled media, and all this stuff to convince people to vote for policies that go against their own, not the color, but their own culture. They voted to have people come here, 20, give or take, what, 17 to 20 million people to come to your land that you gonna have to take care of. Who's gonna pay for these people?
Right, they expected us years ago. They're expecting us to do it, man.
Yeah, so now you got to create a bill to prevent these people from, and as I say, it's like you in a movie. It's like everything's like so back and forth. So yeah, I believe the bill will do good, but it's like it always keep causing problems. Then you got to create a solution. Problems. That's what it's called. What problem reaction solution. And they keep doing this, but they keep creating problems when this wasn't even a problem in 2016, 17, 18. We didn't have problems like this. Like that's what like people don't seem to understand. That's about it. But I think it'll be all right. I know it's gonna be all right. I don't think he's not gonna sit up here. First they were saying about the migrants, all this like, oh, well, they kick out the base, they're coming for black people next. Like what? Like what are you talking about? Then they talk about like, oh, they're gonna get rid of Medicare for all the black people. What? Like what? Or like the EBT.
You're worried about Medicaid anyway, you lazy ass.
Yeah, like get off your ass. Like the one I seen not TikTok. I don't know what it was probably on Instagram. Like some high calorie woman sitting up here talking about she bought like $1,000 worth of EBT at Sam's Club. Right? Was it Sam's Club?
Proud of that?
Yeah, she bought $1,000 worth of snacks at Sam's Club. Just to prove that the snacks were, and she got like 8 kids at 27, 28, 29, whatever years old. You got 7, 8 kids by
grown ass kids, man.
Yeah,
they're
like,
not kids, they're adults.
Yeah, but like we have to. So where that money coming from? We have to. I'm like, if you really want to talk some shit, like yeah, like who's gonna? You had 7, 8 kids. I have 1. And like he eat too much. So how the hell do you take care of 7, 8 kids with what money? Well, like how you have them and you don't work? Who's paying for all that? So you said we probably paying. You said about you get 2 G's a month and 2 G's a month in food stamps. You get 2 G's a month in food stamps. That's 24,000 a year. Who's paying for your house? So we paying you to have all these kids. Yeah. So at the end of the day, like it's some things that need to be cut. Get your ass up and work. If you can't afford kids, do not have them. And that's like the people that are crying are the people that I wouldn't say need it. Okay, you need it, but you created your problem. So if this thing Trump ain't even taking it away from you, so you actually whining about something, he's taking away from the people that's not supposed to be getting it at all, which is the people that's not supposed to be here. So, and then the media, like what we just saw, sit up here try to convince people. I mean, if you, I was on Instagram, maybe my homegirl's like, oh, see, I told you, this is what he said we do. This is Project 2025. I mean, this don't have nothing to do with.
You are still saying that shit.
Yeah, that's what they said this bill is. They said this bill. See, it was Project 2025. This is the manifesto. This is what he said he's going to do. This is about. I'm like, this is not going to hurt us. It's definitely not going to hurt black people. Like if you but seriously, like if you got those many kids, like if I don't know how they're going to do it. What's her name? Jasmine Saucy Crotchy, whatever her name is, Jazzy Rock.
Crotchy.
Jazzy Crotchy.
Crotchy.
Oh, it's going to hurt all my black people. And some people. She's talking about, oh, it's going to hurt all my people in this ward of Texas or some shit. Like, oh, they going to get rid of Medicaid for all these people and this and that. And I'm just like, and she trying to convince all these black people, like, we just need to do something. She's literally, I don't know what podcast I seen on. I didn't even see on podcast. It was just like one of them clips. She was literally talking about wishing death on the president. I'm just like, it's like somebody's going to have to really do something about this. Somebody's going to have to take a fall for this.
Always that rhetoric, boy.
And I'm like, she's trying to convince people to do it. I was like, somebody like you, man, like that's another one has to go. So yeah, it's just like I don't think it's. I mean, I don't know what the critiques is about it, but I'm like, it doesn't affect like me as a business, like none of that. You know, I really, I'm good.
Okay, Nicole, what do you think about the big beautiful bill?
I think that,
Your
like just
last
like
thoughts,
Mitchell
I
was.
should say, on the big beautiful bill. Sorry.
Wait, what'd you say?
No, I was saying last thoughts, I should say, on the big beautiful bill.
Oh
My
yeah.
bad.
Just like Mitchell was saying, it doesn't affect you if you are a person who knows that you are on your own. Like you need to work for what you get. Like you said, if you don't
It
work, you
actually
don't
will
eat.
help you if you are. Sorry to disrupt you. It will actually help. It actually will help us, in theory.
Absolutely. I feel like people not looking at the bigger picture. My background in public aid, so I've seen enough to know that a lot of these policies are enabling people to be idle, people to be lazy. You tired of being carjacked, you tired of being robbed, you tired of the stores getting looted, you tired of dine and dash. This broke people behavior. And if people
Right.
stop and if people stop waiting on the government to take care of them, if people are, challenged with the balance of, do I sit around and wait on public benefits? I've seen people where they'll stop working hours at work. They'll short themselves out of overtime. They'll short themselves out of tips. They'll short themselves out of a job just because they don't want to lose public aid. And that's a twisted mindset to have. We're supposed to be helping people become self-sufficient and get out here and build. You having 8 kids on public aid. What you think that's gonna end up like? You think them kids are gonna learn some job skills? You think them kids gonna learn how to keep their legs closed, how to be fiscally responsible, how to grow their own business? Like, no. You're just creating a cycle. And like, when is it gonna stop? So Trump is doing what's necessary to keep us from continuing a cycle of dependency. Like, especially as black people, like we can sit here and try to say all day that, the whole system's racist and it was founded on racism, yes. But at the end of the day, right now, you have had more opportunities than you've ever had before.
Sure do.
And ignoring that is
Right.
doing a disservice to the black community in general, like overall, through all, and it's a slap in the face to your ancestors. Like they really went through some stuff. Like what are you
Right.
really going through right now? So yeah, cut it. Cut it. If you can work, you can get off your ass and you get a job, go do it, because it shouldn't be men sitting around on couches, standing outside on corners and
Right.
doing
There you
absolutely
go.
nothing. Yeah.
And let me add something to that. Like she was saying, like I got it's not PPP. What was the other one that we got in 2020? Not payroll protection, but here's the thing: we couldn't work at the auction for like a month. So I think I got something that went with the business, but I was getting like I pretty much getting like help. So it was like I get like I think I was getting like $700-800 a month. That's the first time I ever got help since like my mother back in like when we used to live in like the projects, like the Robert Taylors, bro. Like I never and that did help because we couldn't work for like 2 months, and I got that for like what 6 months. Yeah, that did help. Yeah, but that's the last. And as soon as everything got cool, they just cut that right off. And I'm like, man, that little extra money was helpful. So I get it, but it's like I actually worked. I started to work before that, and they opened up the auctions, all that back up. I was like, that little extra money, yeah, it helped. But other people, that's what you depend on. Like you sit around all day, like all
It
day.
becomes a way of life, and
Or
that's fucked up.
you wait till whatever the first, third, 15th, 17th. You wait all this time, and you don't do shit else. Like, let me tell you something. If I had that, like, if I could probably go get it now. If I was to have that, I would be. You could have so much more if people actually put their mind to it. But I know that's probably a different kind of people. But at the end of the day, you get this. You buy a bunch of food, you buy whatever, you get some stuff done, you pay some bills, and you just do nothing else. To the next check, like that's crazy. I know women that well, probably men and women, but I know women that around tax time they come see me every March, usually late February, March. Come get them a car, come get them a car. They come with their little $3,500, $4,000, $5,000 to get them a car. It lasts till June, and they out of a car again. They let their man or something drive it to the ground or whatever. They come back the next year, wait on that. So wait, you didn't make no money throughout the rest of the year. You can't even afford to fix the car. So you wait all the way to next year, And you come down another car from me, and I have a whole load of traps just waiting on them too. There's a whole fleet of them, and I run them all out. And I'm just like, and people get the mentality. That's why. And those are the people I guess they cater to and put on the news or whatever. But if there was, I wish they would talk to one of us, any of us, and be like, look, yeah, we don't give a shit. Like, we work. I got to get up at about 7-8 hours. I ain't tripping. Get up, do this. It's gonna be a real good week compared to last week. So I don't mind getting up, but I'm not gonna sit up here and wait on something every month or every other 2 weeks and then not do nothing in spare time. Like you don't even have a side hustle to make yourself better.
Right.
Go
that's cut grass. The hell?
Yeah, seriously, cut grass. You can make $150-$200 a day probably cutting grass easily. Easily. That's why I really don't hate on. Okay, I'm the truth, but I really don't hate on the Spanish. They came up here, they trying to work, but at the end of the day, you're working on your own country. But at the end of the day, because y'all don't, like I told you the other week, like I don't know which. Now here's the thing. I want to ask you this. I know you know, but there's plenty of people in Mexico. So which ones did they actually send here? Which ones actually came up here? Are those supposedly like the lazy ones, or because I know there's plenty of millionaires in Mexico. There's plenty of people in Mexico, Mexicans that are millionaires,
right,
and have good jobs and good careers. So which Mexicans did we get up here?
Nah, I feel like as far as immigration before this Biden wave, it was a lot of like the Mexicans I know that came before then. Them the real trabajadores.
Is
Like,
it my
they
turn?
work.
They
Right.
work.
They people. Yeah, duro. Okay, but
Well,
like this new wave, it was
the bill is so the bill is nice. Could it be much better? I believe it should. It could be much better. More cut the unnecessary government weight. It should be more on that bill. Maybe the next time when they put the bill, if they do another vote on these bills, I believe they need to add more government cuts offhand. Now,
absolutely.
Just like what that brother just said about that lady that was at playing that they cutting her food stamp. No, they ain't cutting your food stamp. They just stopping you from eating like an unnecessary hippopotamus over here buying all these junk food for your kids and stuff. And these kids get sick at a very young
Whoa!
age.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Mr. Dennis. We got a super chat from Dear Woke Christian. This is the dude that reacted to our video when we were speaking at City Hall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Dear Woke Christian. He said, "Can you please share your guest contact info?"
Sure.
Well, before we do that, Dear Woke Christian, he recently reacted to a video of mine about me, Mr. Dennis, and the rest of some Chicago Republicans critiquing Brandon Johnson about how much of a boo-boo mayor he is, right? So yeah, man, and he reacted to it and he was hilarious. And I don't know if he peeped this, but I had to go extra hard I had to go extra hard on Brandon Johnson, excuse me, because he ignored me the first time that I came up there and spoke and stuff like that, right? So I had to go in on him that time, bro. So appreciate the $2 super chat, man. I really do appreciate it. That means a lot coming from you, brother. Seriously, man. Thank you so much. And hopefully we can do a video in the future soon. Anything, man. But do you guys want to share your contact info with him? This is a big YouTuber, by the way, guys.
Does he have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, he's pretty big. He got a big YouTube channel.
Sure.
He says skewered.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that.
No doubt.
Yeah, you can find me at Nicole Coco Patrice on all my platforms, Nicole Coco Patrice, and email at nicole@cocopatrice.com.
Yep. Now, Mr. Dennis here, the one with the red shirt, he's the guy with the orange jumpsuit. Go ahead, Mr. Dennis.
Yeah, I'm not wearing it. Just presenting it to him.
He gonna be wearing it soon. Shit.
Yeah, he gonna wear it soon, Brown fan. And then then in the back of that orange jumpsuit, it's gonna have hashtag Baby Oil Brandon. So be ready.
Baby old Brandon. That's what he was gonna bring too, but I'm like, nah, Mr. Dennis, don't do it. You're gonna
I
go
was gonna
too
bring that baby
viral.
oil on him and something. Baby
That's
oil
too
Brandon.
viral.
I don't know why y'all didn't. I don't know why you stopped me for that. But anyway, my
Hey, look, I ain't stop you. Maybe you can still do it, man. You know, I ain't.
it's
What's
never
up,
too
Mr.
late.
Dennis?
Never too late. All I gotta do is go
Never
to the
too
store and get
late.
some Johnson and Johnson.
Yep.
So my email address is chef_28@yahoo.com.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Brandon.
Hey, baby old Brandon is wild.
Yeah, Baby oil Brandon. That's gonna be his prison name.
That's gonna be his new name. Hey, Squid, you wanna give your
Hey,
information?
what, Nicole? What did you say, Nicole?
I
I
said,
don't really have any contact information.
I'm sorry.
I don't really have any contact information. I'm not really on social media doing all this stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, but I mean, Squid be with us on YouTube, so because we do panel discussions like this all the time, we switch out every now and then. We can have like majority, I say like 6 on the panel. So if you ever want to join the panel, dear woke Christian man, or if you ever want us to join your show, you always welcome on this show, man. Trust me, bro.
Tell him to show up right now. Tell him hear what he got to say. If y'all,
Well, we actually about to end the live stream because we've been on for like I say almost like 2 hours. So,
all right, cool.
Yeah. See, Mr. Dennis, you see this, Mr. Dennis? We're hitting airwaves hot and heavy. You see this? Hot and heavy. He don't believe me when I say people love him.
Oh, thank you all.
He gotta start believing in himself, man. Tell Mr. Dennis he's famous. Oh my god. But yeah, guys. So Mr. Dennis, did you want to end off on? Did you want to give the last thoughts on the big beautiful bill before we end the live stream?
Yes, the big beautiful bill is pretty good. It could have been better. Yes, it has a few flaws on it, but it's a start. It's a start for the American people. It's a start for the taxpayers that have been working day in, day out. It will help us. It will help the economy, and it will hold these countries accountable because now they owe us. Now we're not going.
Oh man, I think he
damn.
Lost Ellis.
Hold on. Well, he was cooking. He'll be back in probably like 2 seconds.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, guys, I honestly think that this bill is definitely gonna benefit him. Oh, we got him back. Hold on. Go ahead, Mr. Dennis. Finish what you were saying. Oh wait, dang it. Probably gotta wait for him to roll in. Sorry, guys. 1 second.
I'll be honest. That orange jumpsuit was probably Dennis's best moment.
Yeah, for sure. Hands down. Hands down. But Mr. Dennis, you back. What you were saying?
I say that the bill could be. I think the bill could be much better. They should add more cuts to these unnecessary spending and stuff. But what I would add on that bill? I would add a permanent border close at the southern border. That's what I would add on to that bill. A permanent border close. Because these executive orders, let's say Trump did his term, and then you have a Democrat, they could open up the border through an executive order. Somehow that the border closing needed to be added on to that bill and put into law, so we won't have to worry about this no more.
Absolutely, man.
Or send them to Alligator Alcatraz.
I was just going to say that, Mr. Dennis. You just read my mind, man. You know they got a new prison in Florida, excuse me, called Alligator Alcatraz, and it consists of alligators, snakes, like pythons and stuff like that.
It's crazy.
And yeah, and
I
would hope somebody would try to escape that place. So they get
man, I'm going to get me a 6-pack of beer and a bag of popcorn. I'm going to microwave a whole box of popcorn and just
This gonna be better than watching Jaws.
Right.
And if you get scared, you get a steak. How about that?
I can tell you this: if you try to break out of alligator Alcatraz, it's not going to end well.
Well, we know that's why the 6-pack of beer is for.
I mean, for the alligators, I will recommend get some Pepto Bismol because the Mexicans love spicy food and stuff.
Yeah, man. You talking Pepto Bismol? Come on, man.
When
You know they love it.
Sean?
I'm sorry.
When the next live stream, if I can be prepared for it.
The next live stream is probably gonna be, I say, Tuesday.
All right, good. That's perfect.
Tuesday. Yep.
And let me know if you're out on the street somewhere doing because I seen the interview. Where was y'all at on y'all on was y'all on 95th and Jeffrey?
Yeah, we was by Jeffrey. Yep.
That's what I seen that video. I was like, oh, y'all right there.
Yep, man. And that did a lot of that. What me and Nicole did was very special because these these Chicagoans didn't know how much that the extra money that they pay from these late fees and stuff from these tickets, they didn't know that extra money was going to well, some of them did. I'm not gonna say all of them, but majority of them didn't know that it was going to the illegal migrants and Brandon Johnson pockets.
Hell, I didn't know that either. I figured it probably would, but who's gonna pay for these people? Who's gonna pay for the last couple of years? Yeah, because we're still in $1 billion deficit or some shit.
Yeah, 1.2 billion. Half of that.
How you just said if I have 1.2 billion, like.
Well, if you look at it, this was all set up based off of which they stopped shooting goddamn fireworks. But what they was doing, this was a setup from day one. First, they went from a $300 million property tax.
Oh, yeah,
he knew that we was going to say something about it, and somehow the city council voted no. It was unanimous. Then went down to $164 million. The city council voted no. Then went down to $64 million. City council voted no. So Brandon Johnson said, okay, now we softened them up. Let's vote for the $40 million short-term loan with a high interest rate. It was like 26 to 27, and Brandon Johnson was the tiebreaker. Then he put in for that stupid $832 million omnibus bill. Bond for the infrastructure. We already got $400 million saved up. Why do you need $832 million? Because some of that money are going to the illegal and it's going to CTU. So they voted for that. Then now Brandon Johnson want another $10 million tax. You see, these Democrats are not good with keeping money. It's just like they are like a desperate John spending money on a prostitute for the highest bid.
I think they're good with money. I think they're just good at stealing it. I don't think anybody got a problem with money. They got a problem with giving it to us or using it what it's for. They don't have a problem with money. They just like stealing it.
Now, if you look at it, they complain. They took ShotSpotter out because it cost too much money and it was racist. That's what Brandon Johnson said, and that's what Byron Socialist Lopez said. Then they added these cameras here, the speed cameras, Ralph, that it's so high up you can't even see it until you get that mail from the Department of Finance say you were speeding and stuff. They didn't get a chance to see the camera. So the question is, if all this money through the cameras, if they generate that much revenue, where are the money at, and why you continue on adding taxes on the people, on the citizens of Chicago and stuff? If the speed camera is supposed to cover some of the revenue
because
of the
the
city
end goal
deficit.
because the end goal is socialism. Stacey Davis Gates said it. She's been speaking. Like, if y'all start watching the stuff, everybody needs to start watching what Stacey Davis Gates is doing. She is the puppet master behind Brandon Johnson. She
Mm-hmm.
and the CTU are literally
Yep.
trying to. She said it. She said, we're going to. They keep saying Trump is relitigating the Civil War and Reconstruction. They are trying to reconstruct the
Yep.
whole democracy, the whole system of capitalism. They think that Chicago is the flashpoint to set the stage for the rest of the nation. She truly believes that she can take all the money out of our pockets and spread it out amongst everybody and put herself in the position of power to delegate where it goes. That's
And,
the major failing of socialism.
and then don't be surprised if she's trying to run for mayor. Don't be surprised if she wants to run for mayor.
Like, who is she? Where does she come from?
She's the president of CTU. She's a social studies teacher, just like Brandon Johnson. She's a socialist. She's been studying Marxism, just like Karen Bass in LA. Like, people need to start paying attention to these politicians and where they've been living their life, where they've been going to school, who they've been studying under, because these people are socialists and they truly believe. And what's his name? Byron Cicho Lopez celebrating his birthday on Castro's birthday. His birthday in July. He's celebrating on August 13th.
That's weird.
Wow.
What the
Yeah.
hell?
And another thing is, Stacey Davis don't even live in Chicago. She lives in somewhere in Hammond, Indiana.
And her kids go to private school. She's
Right.
the CTU president. Her kids go to private school.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so hypocritical.
Yeah.
That's so hypocritical, man. But
Now,
that
not
just
only we got to call out the mayor of Chicago, we need to call out these council members like Byron Socialist Lopez, Andre Vasquez. Now, we need to call them out. It's time to call them out. Because, like, the members of Chicago Flip Red, that's a perfect name for the Hispanic KKK. That's what they are. That's what they are.
Exactly what they are.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, we got to end the live stream there. It's almost 2 hours in, but I appreciate everybody joining today. I appreciate Mitch, Squid, Nicole, Mr. Dennis. You guys are always so awesome, man, to have on the panel. I really do appreciate you guys a lot. We honestly was more informative than CNN, guys. So clap it up for yourselves, because you are smarter than the China News Network. So,
well, we're more truthful than CNN. It's more truthful.
A normal person is smarter than CNN and more truthful.
Thank you, Squid. There you go. There is truth and intelligence. There you go, man.
Yeah.
But any last words, guys?
Well, Matt, on Tuesday, what you gonna have on? Matt, hit us up on Tuesday afternoon. Let me know.
Yeah, guys, the next panel is going to be Tuesday, okay? But I'm definitely going to start live streaming every single day, just reacting to stuff, guys, that I see that's going basically viral.
Yeah.
It could be political, it could be non-political. I don't really care. I might be reacting to some other videos as well, guys. I'm not sure, okay? Leave some ideas in the chat.
Also, I want to announce the next city council meeting is on July 16th at 10 o'clock. July 16th.
Yeah. If I get chosen, guys, watch me cook Brandon Johnson on that day, and it's not going to be pretty for him.
If not, I'll destroy it.
No mercy.
I'll do it for the love of Chicago.
I will actually, man, I'm a damn near persuade Mr. Dennis to bring some baby oil, guys. So y'all might be getting the inside scoop. Y'all in this live right here might be getting the inside scoop of what the hell is going to happen to Brandon Johnson next city council meeting.
Y'all got to make him a bedazzled jumpsuit.
I don't know why. I can see Dennis bringing some baby oil for some reason.
He's predicting the future, Mr. Dennis. He's seeing the future.
Yeah, I might. I'm gonna try to see if silver and orange might mix in, so I might glue the jumpsuit and put some glitter on it and stuff, and say, "Here you go. You may start them."
That's right. Be like, crime is down.
Yep. And that's amazing that he said
crime is down. Put an arrow going straight down his back.
Right, that arrow leads straight to his ass.
then you write on there open, and then on the bottom of the arrow it say open for business.
Right, open for business. It's gonna be under construction in a minute, boy.
You better spread them open.
Yeah.
They're gonna be under for reconstruction after that and stuff. Because he better hope he could sneak in a carton of cigarettes so he'll be, be safe and stuff. Because either a carton cigarette or a thing or a tube of lipstick, one of those two. But then they might use lip gloss. They might use lip gloss, but them lip gloss, they blend in with something else. I don't want to say because I want to stay PG on that one right there. So
now.
Yeah,
now
he
you're
gonna need
PG.
he gonna need some extra cornbread for sure, guys. But that's the end of the live stream. Thank all you guys in the chat for staying this long, almost 2-hour stream. Appreciate
they might
that.
see his hair braided finally. They might put some
They
cornrows
gonna
on
braid his hair.
Put some cornrows on there.
Right,
They gonna braid his beard.
Two braids going down his mohawk right in the middle.
Looking like the blue avatar. Y'all know the avatar meme?
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Bro, we just cooking it good.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Good feed on that one. That's fun.
But all right, guys. Hopefully the next topic will be as interesting as this one. And guys, leave some comments on what we should talk about, guys. Don't be scared. If you didn't catch the live while we was live, don't hesitate to still throw some comments in the comment section, guys. Check out Nicole Coco Patrice, a very fabulous woman.
Oh,
she has a YouTube channel as well. We got Mr. Dennis White, the two-way activist. That's the man with the plan right there. If you guys ever want to, I honestly think that Mr. Dennis should start a two-way school. I think that will fit him a lot, especially in Chicago. So, Negroes won't be getting locked up all day with guns and stuff like that. So, if you guys want to check out Mr. Dennis, if you guys want to learn anything from Mr. Dennis, I believe he said his information earlier. So yeah, just rewind and go check him out. Mitch, I don't really know if he got a YouTube channel yet, but if you guys want
I have one, but I just got me playing guitar, but that's about all I do. But yeah, I was thinking about starting like some stock stuff. But like I said, anybody like money or interested in playing around with stocks, just
so stay tuned for Mitch Stock's channel, guys. But until then, watch him rock.
Hey, Sean, give Mitch my number. Give Mitch my number.
Yeah, just text it to me.
Yeah, I got you. And Squid, I think he like you said, he's a very private guy. But like I said, guys, he's an American patriot who works very, very hard. Man, Squid been with me for the long run. Before Trump even got elected, man, Squid was with us, guys. So put some respect on Squid's name for sure. And he the diversity of the channel, guys. Okay, we need a few whites and Hispanics and stuff like that. We don't want to be like Brandon Johnson. And, we going all black people. Like, nah.
None of us are racist either.
Right, because he's racist as hell. You know what I'm saying? He only likes black folks and stuff. So, yeah. So, Get a Rope says anyone who votes for Trump is not an American patriot.
Says the slave boy.
Yeah, Get a Rope. You kind of late to the live stream, so at this point, just bite me, bro.
Well, to respond to that, we could always reserve a reservation for you to go to China, Venezuela, Russia.
There you go, because that mustache is looking fairly
you won't have to worry
Mexican.
about Trump no more.
Yeah, that mustache.
On the dicks, bro. Get up out of here. Get a rope.
Yeah, that mustache is looking fairly Mexican, buddy.
Or
go get that rope and go hang yourself across
or if you want to stay domestic,
we
can send you to Florida, Alligator Alcatraz.
He say, make me go. Look, he say, make me go, tough guy. Here's the thing. Go yourself.
Get the fuck
If you
on.
don't like Trump,
Go there and do it yourself.
Hey, I'm looking at that picture of you, dude. Why you got that gay porn mustache on your face?
I told you he got a Mexican mustache. All he missing is
you look like
sombrero.
a gay. You look like a gay version of a pizza delivery guy in porn.
He's saying go get the rope for his cuck activities.
Get a robe right, man.
Get a what?
I bet he's into some freaky shit like Diddy.
Right.
Dude, I
He
mean,
want to sit in the corner while you do his girl.
Oh wow.
oh Lord, I'm too old for this.
He said, "Make me go to the side." That's foreplay.
You're on the wrong channel. I will fry you on this. Like, please don't give me the. I gotta go. I'm about to go.
You know what? I pray to God he don't have kids because that would be the future of fucking up right there.
Yeah, dude. Your mustache is stupid, bro. Pablo Escobar looking
I mean,
ass.
I never seen no mustache.
He's using somebody else's picture. That's how he gets girls.
Oh, catfishing.
Yeah.
That's
Somebody calling us
catfishing.
posers.
Yeah, catfishing.
Oh yeah,
probably look like that dude on the Hunchback of Notre Dame and stuff.
Right, call the hotline. Shit, call the hotline, man. But all right, guys, enough of trolling these losers. Okay, so we'll see you guys.
You do not even don't want to come on the channel talking no shit. I'm negative. Especially
that. Yeah, you're talking smack on a channel that has 14 views right now, bro. You're such a loser.
Yeah, I mean,
you're such a loser.
I understand the fact that you still listen to R. Kelly, you trap in the closet, but I think you
Hey, we out.
That's what I think.
Into the street.
I truly believe you trap in the closet.
We'll see you guys next time.
Great man, nice to meet y'all. Dennis,
yes, sir, man. We out, guys.
All right.
Peace out, guys.
Take care.
Peace out.
Have a good night, guys.
Oh